We'll wait for some time and let other people join. And if you already joined and if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I will be more than happy to take those questions. I'm not able to think logically to write any program in Python. Can you give any tips or tricks to think logically while writing any code? Yeah, sure. I've seen this issue with a lot of people, especially when they start getting into programming. Uh, One thing I always suggest them is to ask questions to themselves. So, if you are writing a program, like for example, let's say I'm trying to think about a bit of a complex program, but not too complex. So, yeah, so let's say a very simple program like you want to find all the even numbers from a list, right? This is a very simple program. I know you'll be able to write probably, but let's try to walk through this one. So, how will you do it manually? You will take each number and then you will divide it by 2, and then if you see the remainder is 0, then it is a even number. If not, uh, then it's a odd number, right? So that's how you will do manually. So now you know you have to go through each element one by one. So for that, what will you do? You will use either for loop or while loop or any other kind of looping technique. So I personally like to use for most of the cases unless I have to run the program infinitely. So let's say we use for loop. So that is clear that I want to use for loop. The other thing is that you need to divide each number by 2. So you will now think about what will be the next step. So next step will be dividing everything by 2. So you will pick one number. So let's say it's 5. You will divide it by 2. It's not 0. So you will say it is as odd. And so on and so forth. You will just keep on going. So you need to think it in a step-by-step procedure. If you first you need to try to solve it in a structured way. So how you will do it manually, and you need to try to structure it in a proper way that a program can be written for that, because there are some problems where it will feel very trivial for a human being to think about, okay, this is very trivial, I can do it. But when you have to write a program, it's not that trivial. You need to formulate in a proper structure. So that's where the main issue comes in. So I would say you need to ask question to yourself, what would be the next step, and you need to divide that whole problem into very small chunks and then think about it, how to solve it. And of course you need to know few things like syntax of a programming language and what all features are there in a programming language. So for Python, you don't really need to use for loop. You can simply, if you have a data frame or a list, you can divide it by 2, and then you can see if it is, if the remainder is 0 or not, and then you will be able to see whether it's even or not. So yeah, you need to know about the functionality of a programming language, and you also need to know about um, syntax of programming language. So that's how you will be able to write code and probably logically think about how to solve a program. This is just one tip. There can be a huge or a long video for this to explain uh, how to think logically. But I hope this will give you a very um, brief idea about how to take any problem and think logically about it. Do let me know if it makes sense, and if you are already doing this, then if you have anything very specific that you struggle with, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to take follow-up questions as well. And I'm planning for masters in big data science for Canada. Is it worth it? I mean, others what are the skills I would need to get a job there? If you are taking data science or even any other master's course. It could be data science, it could be software engineering, it could be anything, right? You need to know cloud computing. So most of the companies, well, I would say all the companies now are using either GCP, AWS, or Azure. So if you pick up any of the cloud infrastructure, I think that would be good. AWS is the most popular one. So I would say, in conjunction with your course, it's better to learn some cloud platforms. I would personally suggest AWS, but you can look into different platforms and you can try different platforms. And if you feel you resonate well with one of the platforms, you can go for that one, because once you understand the underlying principles, it's not that hard to switch to other platforms, simply because most of the platforms, they provide similar kind of services. So it's all about knowing what services are being provided and how they work. So if you understand that, I think you should be able to pick up any other cloud platform. So that is one skill that I would suggest everyone to pick up on. Is it worth or not? It's very subjective. One of her friends, she is doing her masters in Canada. For her, it was totally worth it. She really enjoyed her course, and yeah, for her it was worth it. So I would say yes, it is worth it, mainly because you will get some international exposure, and if you get to work in Canada, then of course it's a really good opportunity. And I think that would be the end goal. After masters, you would want to work in Canada. So yeah, I would say it should be worth it. But again, I'm not too familiar with uh, Canada, but I do have video of my friend. She shared her experience on the channel. So let me quickly grab that link and post it in the chat, so that you may be able to find something helpful out of that video. And maybe you can also reach out to her on LinkedIn. Here's the link to the video. How is the job outlook for business analytics or data science? I am looking for 24 September intake. I think the job market is not good right now, but there are few positives that I can tell for sure. That now UK's economy is not in negative. Now they have made like 0.2% growth, which is really good. So in G7, uh, at the bottom we have Germany, and then the second last is UK. So they're not doing very well, but hey, it's not negative anymore, right? So that's a good thing. So hopefully so you will be coming in September 24, and you will be graduating in 25 September. So we have quite a lot of time. So hopefully by that time we will be able to uh, revive, and hopefully the economy will be in much more better sentiment. So considering that, I think job market should be good by then, but it all depends on quite a lot of external factors. I can't really tell you for sure that it will be good. It could be even worse. I don't know. Uh, but if we talk about today's job market scenario, it's not good. The number of jobs in the market is reducing consecutively for 13 months now. So it is still dropping, but then it is still above. Because of some reason I got disconnected, but I hope you can hear me okay. Hmm, it's quite zoomed in now. Well, yeah, so the number of jobs are still well above the number of jobs what we had in 2019 or pre-COVID period times. So that's there, but it is continuously falling. A lot of companies are avoiding hiring new candidates, but then there are companies which are hiring. So number of jobs are there, but then because of layoffs and stuff, lots and lots of people are in the job market, so the job market has become quite competitive. So if you are ready to take that challenge, I think you should be fine. Hello, Heyday. As a follow up, my question was in the context of UK. Also, if I take business analytics course, can I get a job in data science if I put extra effort in data science related topics on my own during MSc? If you will do some kind of projects, like good projects, not just any kind of project. So if you do good project, if you create a good portfolio, yes, you should be able to get a job. But you may get asked question like, why did you do business analytics course when you wanted to get into data science? So you may get these questions, and if someone who has done masters in data science, and if they have similar kind of projects projects that you have done, then probably they will get prioritized over you. So that will always be there. But yes, of course, you can apply for the jobs, and if your profile is good enough, you should be able to get a data science job even after your MSc in business analytics. Will you take any Python programming lessons one-to-ones to any interested candidates? I could think about it. I have never thought about it, but I'm just thinking about my schedule because it's kind of a busy schedule. So weekdays it's office, on weekends it's YouTube sort of side of things. So I'll look into my schedule. I'll try to see if I can free up some slot. If it is possible, then yeah, I could do that. You're welcome, Akshay. You're welcome, Vishal. And one other thing that I can suggest you to improve your logical thinking, or thinking in a more programmatical way, is to solve as many problems as you can. Lead code is one of the better platforms which I personally prefer to use over HackerRank or HackerEarth. But you can choose any other platform like HackerRank, HackerEarth, CodeChef, Lead Code. There are lots and lots of platforms like these out there, so you can try those platforms and go there and try to solve easy problems. And sometimes when you see on Lead Code an easy problem, also see how many people have successfully completed it, because there might be some problem which are tagged as hard, but then lots and lots of people have been able to clear it. So don't just look at the easy or hard tags, also look at how many people have successfully completed those programs. So try to solve the problems which are easy, lots and lots of people have solved it, and see, are you able to solve those problems? If you are struggling, at least give it an hour or maybe more to try to solve it. Try your best. If you are stuck at some place and if you just can't think about it, go to the solutions tab, try to see what people have done, how they have solved it. Go through each and every single line, try to understand everything, and you learn quite a lot by reading others code. So yeah, try to read others code, and then after you have understood the problem, don't just jump to the other problem, try to solve it again, because to solve one particular problem there are 100 different solutions. So you can write a code to solve one problem in 10 different ways. So I would suggest write the code by yourself, maybe try some different approach, and once you are able to solve the problem, once all the test cases pass, then move on to some other problem. So even if in 1 to 3 hours you are solving just one problem a day, I think that is good enough. And in a year you will be able to solve well over 300 problems. And if you solve those many problems, I can say for sure that you will feel like you are much better programmer now. And whatever problems are put on your way, you can just think through it and you can write a code for it. So yeah, do try that approach as well, because for me it really helped when I was learning programming back in 2014. Yeah, maybe 2014 or 15. That's when I started learning programming. Before that, I didn't even know what C programming is. I didn't know the name of any other programming language. And when I went into my bachelor's program, I took computer science. So first semester, I don't think we had any programming language, but second semester we had we had C programming. And when my teacher, she wrote x is equal to x plus 1, I was like, how come this is possible? This can't be possible, because I was coming from mathematics background, right? So in maths, x is equal to x plus 1 is not possible. So uh, yeah, I was like, this is not possible. But then I thought, I have taken computer science, and if this will be the case throughout, it's no good. I need to learn programming. So I went on to YouTube. I learned some things from there. I bought a book. I read that book, and then I went into Lead Code and other platforms, and I started solving problems on daily basis. And whatever process I told you, I used to follow this process every single day. And within just 60 to 70 days, I could start to see the difference. I was able to build logic much better. So I'm pretty sure you will be able to figure out, and you will be able to understand and uh, think about how to write a program. Hello, Mr. Kim. Is that all? Have I answered all the questions? Is there any need for English proficiency test as my 12th English marks is less than 70%? There are a lot of universities where you can get IELTS waivers, so you may not have to, but like you said, you have less than 70%. So I would assume that yes, you may have to take IELTS exam. So yeah, but I would always suggest anyone to just take IELTS to be on a safer side, because when you apply to some of the universities, they give you conditional offer, and then the condition will be to submit your IELTS score. So after getting an offer, you will have some time and you will be under some time pressure, so you will probably not be able to prepare well. So whenever you start applying for any university, I usually suggest people to just take their IELTS well before applying, and then provide your English proficiency score in your application. It also sometimes help you to stand out from other students, because university knows that you have you are proficient in your English. So uh, because recently we have worked with some of the students from one of the universities, and there were three students, and they worked on three different projects. One of the students, she was struggling really hard in terms of communication. We were trying to communicate something, she was understanding something else, she was doing something else, and it was not a it was not a pleasant experience for her, for us, for everyone. So for a university, it is important that you somehow prove your English proficiency. So yeah, I would suggest taking IELTS. But then if you don't want to take, you can just apply to the universities, and if you are able to get unconditional offer from a university without IELTS, then you don't need to. But then if you take IELTS, I think you will be able to get into some of the better universities. Hi Rupa, I'm doing good. How are you? You're welcome, Kim. Can you provide me free resources for data science? I have prepared data science notes. So if you join Discord server, there you will be able to find a section called data science, and in that you will be able to find data science notes. So yeah, link to the Discord server should be in, yeah, it is there in the description. So if you follow that link, you will be able to join the Discord server, and from there you will be able to download the data science notes. There I have included mathematics part, statistical part, probability, and then machine learning algorithm, deep learning algorithm. So if you go through the whole notes, you should be able to understand a lot of concepts in depth. Some other resources you can find on YouTube itself. If you want to learn stats, I have videos on my channel. I have a playlist, so you can learn stats from that playlist. Apart from that, there will be some really good YouTube channels where you will be able to find data science playlists. So it's just a search away. So yeah. I'm planning to do masters in University of Roehampton. What would you suggest? So I don't really have too much information on University of Roehampton. So uh, yeah, can't really comment too much. But if you can post this in the comment section once this live stream is over, I will look into the course content and will let you know. Or let me quickly just search for it. So the compulsory modules are mathematics for data science, which is good, data analytics, machine learning, data visualization, applications of data science, deep learning applications. So those are compulsory modules. Industrial placement is option, so that would be your placement year. And project seems like a good course. They are covering everything, whatever you need for a data science course. So yeah. But apart from the course, I won't be able to comment on anything else because I really don't have much idea about the university itself. But the course looks fine. How much is the fees? 16,500 pounds for international students, which is not too bad. Yeah. I'm doing good, Furkan. Thank you. Please spare 2 minutes and explain the ultimate roadmap to become a data scientist in the UK after masters, considering on student visa, please. Sure. So, see, the first and foremost thing would be to do your master's program to the best of your abilities. Do your assignments on time, submit them on time, try to get as much marks as you can. That would be the first step. The next one is if your university also guide how to use LinkedIn to get a job. Okay, I'll come to that point later. So yeah, that would be the first thing. The second thing would be if your university is covering any kind of cloud platform or uh, cloud related stuff, take that. That would be really helpful. And I think most of the universities, they do provide you access to either Azure, Google Cloud Platform, or AWS. Make good use of it. Try to explore different things. Try to write your programs there. Try to understand what all services they have to offer, so that you will get a good idea about how to use cloud platforms. And then when you go to your interviews or things like that, you will be able to tell them that you have not only worked on your local system, you know how to use cloud platforms. And if possible, it would be nice to get a practitioner certification. It could be AWS practitioner, it could be Azure, it could be GCP. So getting those certification would really help you, because a lot of companies are actually looking for it. Data science certificate may not be that useful, but cloud certification like AWS or Azure certification, that's going to be really helpful. So those, that's the second thing. The third thing would be to create your portfolio. And by portfolio, I don't just mean creating a website and putting all your projects there. What I mean is you need to uh, make your GitHub properly. And by GitHub, I mean add some, pin some repositories there on your front page, have some detail about you, like what all tools you use and things like that. If you go to my GitHub profile, you will get a very brief idea. I have not made my GitHub like really well, but you will get very basic idea, that bare minimum that you need to have. But I do have like lots and lots of repositories where I post a lot of projects. So that would be the next step. So when you go to your repositories, you need to see that you have added properly your readme files, and that file should contain overview of the project, how to execute it, and how to set up everything. So those things should be there in your readme file. After that, try to deploy at least one or two models, and try to host them so that an end user can actually interact with those models, and they can see, yes, it is a working model and it's not just in your research environment, it is actually in the production environment. So do that. So those are the few things, and then comes LinkedIn. You need to add all the details properly on your LinkedIn profile and profile profile, yeah. So on your LinkedIn profile, and by that what I mean is use the bio section properly, and also the heading part. There you can say data analyst, or if you have worked before, you can add your X, that company's name, something like that. I prefer to just use my job title, so I have used data scientist. But if you are a student, you can just say MSc data science student and the university's name, something like that. So you can use that. In the description section, add all the details, that what type of skills you have, what you are looking for, what you have achieved. So these are the three things that you should include in your description. And how to use LinkedIn to get a job. So on LinkedIn, there are few things that you can do. um, the first one is, of course, set yourself open to work, because that way employers will know that you're open to work. And sometimes they do reach out to you on LinkedIn, and most of the times they are those hiring agencies, but still it's good that they reach out to you and they can ask your resume, and if they find a best suited role for you, they can give you a call for interview and things like that. So do that. After that, you can sometimes reach out to the hiring managers themselves. So when you see those jobs, you will be able to see who is posting that. So don't just apply for the role, also reach out to them and talk to them, tell them that I'm interested in this particular role, this seems like a suitable role for me, depending on my past experience, education, skills, things like that. So it would be great if you could consider me for this particular role. And if you can actually find their email address, it would be even better to just directly email them your resume. So that way you will probably stand out a bit more, because that will show them that yes, you are actually interested in the role, you have taken a step uh, further, and you have emailed them your resume. So that is something you can do. um, what else can be done? You can also reach out to people from that particular company. So if you see there is an opening for data scientist from company XYZ, you can search for XYZ company, you can see people from similar role. So you can find some data scientists from XYZ company, and then you can reach out to them, you can ask them if they can refer you. If they can refer you, that would be great. And yeah, so you can do these kind of things, and I hope you'll be able to find something after doing these many things. Unfortunately, university didn't include cloud, etc. in course outline. So can you recommend any course cloud certification which can help me to learn this thing? Yeah, so I would suggest AWS because I personally prefer AWS. They have well over 200 services, and whatever you need for data science, they have it packed in SageMaker, AWS SageMaker, and also they have some other services like Jumpstart, and they have some foundation models. So they have a lot of large language models integrated within AWS. They have vector database like what was that? I forgot the name of that database, but yeah, they have all those things. So if you want to create a whole pipeline, if you want to deploy your model, you can do that. I'm not saying that it is not available in other platforms, but you can you can do in other platforms as well. But I think AWS is go-to platform for me, so I'm probably a bit biased. But you can explore things whichever suits you the best. Azure certifications are free, I guess, but for AWS you will have to pay like $150 or something like that for AWS practitioner certification. If you want to learn, you can go to this website. Let me quickly grab a link. So this is AWS Educate platform. Here you can learn for free about AWS. They have different courses. They have data science centric course, they have cloud computing centric courses, machine learning, things like that. So yeah, you can use this platform to learn more about AWS. Is it easy to grab PSW after completion of your masters? Yes, it is fairly easy. If you, the only requirement is that you complete your course. So if you submit your assignments on time, if you pass in all the modules, you get your degree, you will automatically be transferred to PSW visa. Hi Ashutosh. 4 people have voted, and I see 50% saying not so good. I mean, if you can share, um, that would be great, and hopefully things go a bit better from here. Could we integrate resume review with live session? Um, I don't think I understood this point properly. If you could probably rephrase it. You're welcome, Furkan. Now I'm free for 3 months. Can you provide me open resource to get started data science skills? So yeah, like I told you, you can go through the notes which is available in uh, Discord server. Some other resources, let me just Google if I recall anything, if I can find something, or if anyone here who knows about some free resources on data science course, please do let us know in the chat. You may not be able to paste any links, but if you can just post that link in the Telegram group or Discord server, I will paste it here. So that's why I always suggest people to just join Telegram and Discord server. So I can see on Simply Learn YouTube channel, they have like 12-hour course. It is a data science beginners course. I think 11-12 hour course is good duration to cover quite a lot of things. So if you go through that course, you should be able to understand quite a lot of um, packages which are being used in data science, and you will be able to understand quite a lot of foundations for data science. And also there is a channel which is freecodecamp.org. They also have 12 hours course, and they have over like 3 million views, so I think it could be a good resource. So yeah, on YouTube there are like tons and tons of resources available. You should be able to get something. Like live Q&A have cap, we can do resume review session that help people. So currently I do resume review via channel membership. So people do reach out to get their resumes reviewed. For that they have to join the channel membership. So currently I'm doing that. So I'm not sure, simply because for resume review, yes, I can do on live, but it may not be as in depth as what I can do in one-to-one session, because they give me the resume beforehand. I go through it, I make the pointers, then we go in the meeting, discuss about what was their reasoning to do that, and there is this back and forth conversation there. Here I don't know if it is possible, because right now I'm just doing it via camera. I tried setting up things like sharing the screen, maybe joining via a Zoom and then doing it here, but it just didn't work out when I was testing. The audio was bad, and I'm currently doing it on my tab, so I have some resource limitations. My tab has good camera, so the camera is fine, but when I switch to my laptop, the camera is just too bad, so it doesn't look good. On top of that, I don't have a microphone, so my laptop's mic, it's terrible. So currently I have some hardware resource limitations, but hopefully when I will move to a different place, I will try to get those things sorted. Then maybe we can think about that. But for now, purely because of resource limitations, I don't think that would be possible. I've taken IELTS academics and got an admit from university. Will that work for UK study visa as well? Yes, that would be fine. So you can give your IELTS academic score while applying for your visa. So that would be totally fine. I'm trying to study stats, which is the best book for data science. I have a short video. I don't remember the name of those books off the top of my head, but let me quickly grab the link. I've suggested like 4 5 books in that video, and I think all those books are really good. I've read one or two, and the others are quite similar to the other books, but of course it depends on the writer and publisher. Yeah, so in this short video you will be able to find the name of those books. Practical statistics for data science, I am not sure about any kind of books, but I do have a playlist where I have gone through some of the concepts, and then we have also tried to implement it using Python. So yeah, you can probably follow that playlist on my channel. But if you are purely looking for a book, then these books should be good, which I mentioned in this short video. I have only not covered Rima, I guess. Apart from that, I think everything is covered. So that just one topic is missing, and I decided not to go for that is because I barely seen that in any of the interviews, and I personally never used it. But I have learned it only because it was there in the book. But I personally not use. I don't remember exactly what was the topic, but yeah, I can probably quickly look into it. But it's fine. So yeah, that is the only reason why I have not included the topic. But apart from that, everything is there already. Sure. Let me grab a link. It was ANOVA. So yeah, I have not covered ANOVA, and linear regression. I thought, and I think I have talked about that in the introduction as well, into the intro video, that I will probably cover regression part in machine learning playlist. So this is the link to that playlist. Okay, everyone, I think I've answered all the questions. Okay, we have the question. In which company you're doing job and at what post? Well, I'm a data scientist at Stanley Black and Decker. Thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you found this session to be helpful. And for those who are not doing good, I really wish you best wishes and hope your weekend starts to go well from this point on. And I'll see you guys again next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. So have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.